There is a girl who is hesitant to open her husband's bedroom, which isn't their usual bedroom and it's exclusive his. Her heart is feeling nervous and her legs have already started trembling because of her husband. She shuts her eyes, takes a deep breath, and then opens them. Her hand reaches the doorknob, twists it, and slowly opens the door. When she opened the door to his bedroom, she saw him in the dim light. He looked as if he were waiting for someone else. With a cigarette between his fingers in one hand and a glass of wine gripped in other hand. Seeing him like that, her heart felt like sad for her husband. She was taking steps towards his attention, but her presence cut his attention. He didn't look back, but he threw the glass against the wall, making her flinch. Jay, didn't I tell you not to come into my room? Wine. I came here because your mom told me to call you. She was stuttering and not answering properly, fearing that he might become angry. But even though she was so afraid, why did she come to his room, almost daring to face his anger? Jay, get out. I refuse to leave my room, and I want peace. Wine. But mom said. Jay groaned in frustration because she was still there, even though he had told her to leave. Then he kicked the table, making it jerk, and approached her. It didn't touch her, nor hurt her. But her heart skipped a beat. She closed her eyes, expecting that table would hurt her. When she felt no pain, she opened her eyes and saw him still looking down in his face. Jay, see it right? It doesn't matter to me to kick you as I kicked the table just now. Just get up before my gaze falls on you. It's not joking to stay still there for her to face something. She swallowed and immediately left from there and closed the door, leaving him in that room alone. He set through the cigarette from his hands and finally looked up to see where she had gone. His eyes scanned the room, taking the mess with broken glasses, half-burnt cigarette pieces, and broken furniture. Seeing it all, he let off a sad chuckle. Then his gaze turned towards something behind him, and he lowered his left arm, and which had a scar. His eyes welled up with tears. Jay, why did you leave me? Why didn't I get someone who deserves someone like you? I wish I could die. Her eyes filled with tears as she looked at the closet door of his room and brushed her palm on it, letting tears drop from her eyes. Why, Jay? I'm your wife. Just give me attention and see how much I can take care of you. Give me a chance to show you how can I love you. She wiped her tears away and swallowed her suffering. She wiped her face and went downstairs and saw his mom waiting for there. She tried to hide her suffering, put on a natural expression, and approached her. Why, Auntie Tay is sleeping. Jay, Mom. At this time? Why? When I saw him, he seems tired. Why, Mom? Okay. Please tell him that when he wakes up, he has to attend the parks meeting on the 2nd. And it's very important for Kim's company too. Why? I will tell him. Jay, Mom. Your tone sounds like disappointment. Is Jay taking good care of you? What kind of question is this? He doesn't even see me as his wife. Not even 1%. He always ignores me, and when I try to approach him, he gets angry at me for no reason. Jay, Mom, I asked you something. Why? Yeah. Jay, Mom. After Tay takes the CEO position, I will take a rest and leave all the work, and I will stay at home with you. Until now, I am busy with works, meetings, and wine. Auntie, I would like to ask you something. Jay, Mom. Okay. Wine. How? Never mind, Mom. But please come back soon. She hugged Wine aside, then stepped aside and walked away. Wine watched until she disappeared from sight and let off his sigh. How did they get used to smoking and drinking habits? What made him start these bad habits? She sits on the sofa, her head back at rest. She recalls what it'd be like if they were smiling at her up close. Can I see his smile? Why is it so hard for him to move on with me? His mom told me he is just upset because of some business issues, so that's why I'm not bothering him to get closer to me. I'm staying away from him because he needs some time. But I'm still wondering if there is something else about him that I'm not getting since our wedding day. It's been a few days and I'm staying with him. But it's really hurting me inside because I didn't expect that the moment would be like this when I decided to stay with him. Jay is working on his laptop seriously with the annoying face while drinking alcohol is full frustration. Just then his wife comes with a plate full of food in her hands because he didn't eat anything. Why, Jay? He heard her but didn't respond, not wanting to get angry, but when she called him again, extended her hand to give him food. Why, Jay? He raised his head and threw the food plate from her and shut at the glasses, spilling its contents. Jay, did I ask you if I wanted food? He shouted at her and making her face frown. Why are you shouting? As a wife, I have to take care of my husband. Jay, wife. Can you please stop calling yourself as a wife? It's really annoying me. Ryan, can you tell me something? What's wrong with me, huh? What did I do wrong that you always show anger towards me when I'm around you? Jay, if not angry, then what am I supposed to you, huh? You came into my life through my mom, against my will. She was speechless when he burst out his hidden words. She didn't shed tears or become angry. She controlled herself. Ryan, what are you saying? Is this a forced match for you? Jay, of course it is. I lost my love and I'm bearing this pain and inside me, not hurting anyone by my actions at any cost. And you always come near me with stupid excuses and now you want me to express, huh? Want me to commit romance with you? She widened her eyes in disbelief. How could he misunderstand her feelings? She was about to say something but he pushed her onto the sofa and was about to hover above her, but she quickly got up and pushing him away from her. Ryan, what are you doing there? You are drunk. He ignored her words and stubbornly pulled her by the waist. She got scared and tried to push him away, but he grabbed the back of her neck and attempted to kiss her. In the chaos situation, she slapped him. She really didn't want this from him. She wanted his love, not this. He wasn't in his senses, not knowing what he was doing. She tried to stop him, but her strength wasn't enough, so she slapped him to make him stop. Then he fell onto the sofa, but didn't move. He was lost in drunkenness, so he fell asleep. She looked at him, tears about to come from her eyes. She left from there. The next day, he woke up at 11 a.m. and found himself sleeping on the sofa. He sat up straight and feeling slightly confused with a headache, a slightly pain in his left cheek. He began massaging his temples. Jay, why did I have to sleep on the sofa? Why am I feeling slightly hurt? He recalled what had happened last night. Then he looked around expectantly, thinking that Wine might near him with some excuses to talk with him, but he saw a note beside him, confused. He took it and was shocked to find a heart brightened by Wine. That's when he remembered what he had done last night. His face turned into an unnamed expression without reading it. He got up and went downstairs looking for her, but he couldn't find her. He searched the whole house but realized after some time that she wasn't at home. He thought maybe she had left him, but he couldn't bear the idea of her leaving. He returned to his room and took the letter. I have enjoyed how much you shouted at me angrily, but I never thought you could be so cruel to me. I can't bear that you love someone else too. It's breaking my heart. I can endure almost anything, but not this. It's a moment of great pain. My heart shattered all at once. I regret why I still love you. Why can't I stop this love? I really don't want to ask this, but I can't control myself. Wait, what? How can you see my love for you when you haven't even seen my face properly? But rest assured, I won't linger here shamelessly. I gracefully step away from you this situation. Now I can't bring myself to stay with you. Jay, I really hate you now. You don't know the value of my love for you. I can stay where I am loved, but I can't stay where I am hated. I am leaving. Be happy and hate me too. Happy. She stopped reading when his eyes began to blur. Realizing tears already welled up and crushed by guilt, he slapped himself, then he closed his eyes, processing her innocent face. Finally, tears streamed down his cheeks. He opened his eyes and slapped himself, swallowed by immense pain. Jay, how could I try to force her? She is my wife. Did I forget that? I have to apologize to her. I hurt her so cruelly. I shouldn't have behaved like that. While he was blaming himself, slapping his face, he suddenly stopped when he heard his mom, who was looking at him angrily. He looked at her with confusion. She approached him angrily and raised her hand as if to slap him, but she couldn't do it. Instead, she took the letter from him and tore it into pieces. He was about to stop, but she pushed him away. Jay, Mom, why are you blaming yourself? You aren't supposed to blame and regret here. I'm the one who should be doing that now. I foolishly made you both marry each other thinking that you could forget about that unknown girl and live with Vine happily. But you have proved me wrong here. I don't know how to describe her feelings for you. I don't know how Vine fell in love with you. Even though you didn't care about her, she didn't inform me even once, always telling me she is fine. I shouldn't have forced you to marry her. I selfishly thought her love could help you move on from your past. But it seems you are suffering. Jay burst into tears and hugged his mom, finally crying. His mom was speechless. He hadn't cried in front of anyone even once before. So why was he crying now? I agree. I made huge mistakes one by one, but now, little by little, I have realized how much she loves me. She never begged me to love her, but she showed her love. Due to my aggression, I couldn't see it. Now I have come to my senses. I want her, Mom. I really want her. The one who loves me more than I love her. Jay, Mom. Jay, are you for real? Jay, yes, Mom. Please tell me where she went. I wanna ask for her forgiveness, and I want to make her happy. I have to take care of her. As far as we know, some people can realize their stubborn mistakes and recognize someone's true love for them someday, even after a long time. But in my life, I've only realized it after she left me. Time skip. Vine is sitting on a bench at the railway station, her arm resting on her back, waiting for the train to take her back to her village, feeling incredibly sad. She isn't crying, but instead she feels like a part of her slowly fading away because she is leaving his life behind incredibly. She isn't ready to stay as she waits there alone. She has someone calling her name. She looks up and turns her head and unable to believe her own eyes. She sees her husband Jay running towards her as if he had rushed there. He stopped in front of her, taking heavy breaths as he tried to speak to her. She looked at him with confusion, unsure if this was real because he had never spoken to her directly before. How could she suddenly believe he was doing now? While she was in confusion, he hugged her before saying anything. She didn't attempt to hug him back, but she was fortunate to see her husband hugging her wife. She pushed him back and asked a question. Vine, I'm sorry from the depth of my heart for the pain I have caused you. My actions weighed heavily on your soul, and I am genuinely sorry for the hurt I have brought upon you. Vine, please don't act as if you have realized what you truly want from me. Don't worry, I won't tell my parents about this and will go. Jane, no, I'm not acting. I am telling you what I regret in my life. I loved a girl, but I lost her. She passed away. After that, I became used to living a lonely life. My mom urged for me to marry you against my will. It was forced upon me. Because of that, I couldn't be a good husband to you. I yelled at you, didn't let you get close to me due to my aggression, but in my stubbornness and frustration, I failed to recognize your love for me. I couldn't move on from my past. But your love has made me see sense. I now understand the love you have for me more than I can express. I'm just realizing how valuable and important you are to me. And about last night, I wasn't in my right mind. I tried to force you acting like a beast. And I promise I won't do such a thing again. He grabbed her hands and asked for forgiveness, but she didn't say anything, even though she was listening to him. That's when they both had the train's horn. Tay looked back and saw the train approaching. Seeing that, Vine jerked her hands away and rubbed her back. At the moment, he understood what is fear. The train stopped and Vine was about to walk towards the train, but Tay burst into tears and let out a scream. That one scream made her halt and prevented her from getting on the train. Jay, I'm asking you to just give me a chance, give me your attention and see how much I can take care of you. Give me the opportunity to show you how can I love you. Once she had spoken these words to herself in front of his closet door, and now he was saying the same. She saw herself in him, turned back with tears, and then he was about to join his hands together, but she left her back and ran towards him and hugging him. Finally she melted, and he couldn't believe it. He hugged her back. Wine. Really you can? Tay, I swear I can. Wine. How much? Tay, more than you can expect. She broke the hug and looked into his eyes. Then he cupped her cheeks and gave her a gentle kiss on her forehead. Tay, I won't make you regret loving me in the future. I won't leave you until my last breath. They both closed their eyes and hugged each other tightly.